All right. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Coffee
Good
Talk with
morning.
Chris and Lee. So I'm Lee Bird, president of Btech. This is Chris Kurger. He's a systems engineer with Arctic Wolf, and we've enjoyed working together and helping credit unions end cyber risk. And we wanted to do a quick coffee talk this morning about something we're both seeing a lot of, which is a lot of email compromise against credit unions. These are email attacks. Kind of the industry is sort of calling them BEC, or business email compromise. Chris, are you seeing a lot of these also? We're seeing a ton of this. It's crazy. Like really since October 1st, it's been just kind of been this tidal wave of events.
There's been a big trend, I think, over really the past few years, but I agree with you. Since October, we've seen a number of new techniques, kind of the bad actors really polishing up their skills for business email compromise, because they know that some of the traditional methods aren't working for them as well as they used to, like ransomware and traditional viruses.
Right. And what's crazy is when I describe this to people, or when we've had credit unions call us, they often will say stuff like, my email's been spoofed, or it's a phishing attack. And I think the kind of the really important piece of this is you don't even know it, but they're actually in your mailbox. So when they're in your mailbox, they are sending and receiving emails on your behalf. And often what we're finding is they're setting up rules like auto forwarding rules or delete rules, so that you don't even know. You're still going into your mailbox, but you don't see this other activity that these bad actors are doing. Unfortunately, I think the way that they're gaining access is through phishing emails. So one in particular we've seen a lot of is, it looks like a Microsoft 365 encrypted email, and it asks you to enter in your credentials. And so people are putting in their 365 credentials, those are getting harvested. And then if you have any sort of public facing 365, like Outlook.com or Outlook Web Access or Office.com, they just use those credentials and they're in your mailbox.
Yeah, the bad actors have really stepped up too on that front, because it used to be kind of where you'd enter those credentials and you'd say, oh, wow, this site looks fishy, or why did I enter them just there? But they can actually even redirect back to the real site, or have you look at what looks to be an official email or an official commentary from Microsoft or from whatever vendor they're posing as. So then, like you said, people don't know that they're in the mailbox. They could be sitting in that mailbox for half a year, over 200 days is really the average time to detect these type of compromises, because they're going to gather as much information as possible. Like you said, cover their tracks with rules, and they don't want to just impact one user. They want to get as much data as they can. So they're going to use you to fish other people, your employees, your clients, and really just spread from there. So if you're not doing something to watch out, if you're not being a little bit hyper vigilant when it comes to your email credentials or any credentials you have, you could be at risk.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I'll mention that we've seen also is, I think that prior to October, we saw a lot of these events. We would go into like the sent mailbox, and we would see that 1,000 emails have been sent over the last 24 hours. They're going in and creating these rules now where they're covering their tracks, and so it's really the only way that the victim knows that this is going on is if somebody picks up the phone and calls them and says, hey, I got this really weird email from you. Because if you go into the mailbox, they've created all these rules and everything to kind of cover their tracks. So Chris, obviously Arctic Wolf has helped some of our clients. We had a false positive, which was a CEO who was their assistant was in their mailbox here in the United States, and the CEO accessed their Microsoft 365 while on vacation in Germany, and that created an alert. But that's the kind of thing that Arctic Wolf has, that visibility with their 365 program, right, where they can kind of see some, I guess, anomalous behavior. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, absolutely. Microsoft does a good job of logging a lot of these things. For instance, like, where are these login attempts coming from? How many login attempts, or how long are people logged into mailboxes? What are they doing? But it's hard for IT administrators or IT staff to watch all of these logs. There's thousands of logs coming in per hour. So what Arctic Wolf is doing is we're helping you to comb through those and then alert on, like you said, those anomalous events. We know the CEO can't be in US and Germany at the same time.
Shouldn't
Or if
be.
you see, right, if you see somebody log in 16 times in a row, log in, log out, or maybe 50 attempts to log in that are denied, things like that, sometimes would get unnoticed because you think, oh, there wasn't a compromise. But that allows us to dive in a little further, look at some of the adjacent data and determine, hey, maybe they did get in at one point.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think the last thing I'll mention is obviously Microsoft does have some great security tools. We often, unfortunately, don't see them really implemented. But your 365, there's a hardening guideline. If you Google Microsoft 365 hardening, Microsoft has a lot of settings that you can go and just sort of tighten things up. And then also their conditional access policies. I mean, at a minimum, you should not allow connections to your 365 environment outside the United States. You know, most of these business email compromise attacks we're seeing coming from Nigeria. And so if somebody is attempting to connect to your mailbox from Nigeria or anywhere outside the US, that's not going to work. So there are some things you can do. But again, having tools where you get really good visibility, hardening that 365, and being vigilant, you know, because it's these business email compromise attacks are really, really bad. It's and it ultimately it can affect your reputation. And if there's member information in those emails, then you've got to disclose that. So it really can be a big problem. So
yeah, nobody wants a breach for Christmas, that's for sure. We see a lot of the time it's those important individuals like your CEO or your finance officer who are going to be saying, oh, well, I don't have time for multi-factor authentication. I need to be able to log in from Spain while I'm on vacation.
yep.
You need to convey to them the importance of security because those are the people who, when they do get compromised, are going to cause the biggest splash or the biggest paycheck for those bad actors.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Chris, thanks for taking a few minutes, and I'm glad we could record this and share this with our friends out there. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and you're right, we're getting close to the holidays. Unfortunately, we see a lot of these attacks happening around the holidays. So, Chris, I think we should do more of these coffee talks and maybe help some of our friends out there with not scaring them, but helping them figure out ways to secure their environment. So thank you again for taking the time to do this.
Think of a topic or something that they want to hear a little bit more about, I always love to kind of shed a little bit of light on those things. And Lee, I always enjoy sharing a cup of coffee with you any day.
That's right. Coffee time. All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.